Time now for our GMA cover story, the Joker sequel. It hits theaters next week. The movie stars Joaquin Phoenix back in the title role alongside Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn. Chris Connolly sat down with the film stars and the director. And Lady Gaga also, Chris, had a new album overnight.
Right you are, George. Yes, and its roots can be found in the film. Now let's see. 2019's Joker was a zeitgeisty smash hit, with Joaquin Phoenix winning a Best Actor Oscar as well. So what do you do for an equally daring encore? Well, how about a song or two? And bringing the superpowers of Lady Gaga into the mix.
Let's give the people what they want.
He's back, and Gaga's got him.
I want to see the real you.
5 years after his Dancing on the Stairs performance won him an Academy Award and sent his film to a box office bonanza, Joaquin Phoenix is returning as the Joker. But this time, he's not dancing alone.
It's just us now.
That volatile pairing of Joaquin's bare-faced Arthur Fleck and Lady Gaga's Lee, a reimagined Harley Quinn, fueling Joker Folie à Deux, rooted in his love for film #1.
Oftentimes when you're coming to the end of a film, you're like, I want it over, I'm done. I didn't want it to end.
Gaga, why was it of interest to you when there's so many things you can do at any given moment?
You know, the film that they made the first time together, Joker, that was what really interested me in being a part of this one, because I loved Arthur so much. Like, who would be the love in his life?
I would say we were under a microscope from the very beginning, and then we bring Lady Gaga in. But I mean, it's kind of why we do what we do, right? To take risks.
The billion-dollar risk, the film's fantasy sequences, in which these two are shown singing live on the set.
How could we possibly do the music in the most honest way possible? When we first started, I did not want anything to be spontaneous, and I wanted to sound as good as possible. And Gaga said,
Joker Arthur.
We should do them live. And I was like, yeah, well, it's easy for you to say, because that's what you do. You were really cool and kind of made me feel comfortable about that.
But then you did it live. I can assure you that Joaquin, using his natural voice, was just so much more compelling than any lip syncing would ever be.
Gaga's limitless vocal abilities highlight her surprise album Harlequin, which drops today, inspired by her Folie à Deux film characterization.
We know you have a once-in-a-generation voice, but you're playing a character here, and you're using that voice the way the character would.
Well, you know, Lee's not a performer, and I am, and in a scene as a different character, it's just completely different. It's Lee's reality, it's their shared reality, it's coming from that character, not from me as a performer. But I also think, like, you know, I don't just sing that way in this movie. I also sing with my full voice.
Gaga's capacity for on-screen intimacy and Joaquin's depiction of Joker producing some revealing moments.
There was something like completely freeing about playing this character, because I was able to put some things of myself in her that maybe I've always been embarrassed of, or things that are really private. When I first saw the film, I remember thinking, oh, like, that's in there, you know? Like that thing,
part of me.
That part of me that I want no one to know about. And I think part of that was, like, she's kind of, in some moments, like, she's kind of so uncomfortable. She's like on the edge. There's definitely been times in my life where I've felt that way.
You can do anything you want. You're Joker.
I heard that line, I thought, well, so much of your career is about that.
You can try anything you want. So I guess I feel like, yeah, I have the opportunity to try anything, and then I rely on somebody else to make it work.
Joaquin's 21st century film credits are up there with anyone else's. Meanwhile, Gaga's album Harlequin, leaning into the movie's Great American Songbook selections, including a re-recorded razzmatazz version of That's Entertainment. And really, isn't she always? Joker Folie à Deux is in theaters next Friday, guys.
Thank you, Chris. And you can see more of Chris's interview tonight on Nightline.